the 3 student athletes, and then after questions for the student athletes, we'll circle back with questions for Coach. We'll let the student athletes get going after the questions are done for them. Coach, the floor is yours when you're ready.
Appreciate it. Just really excited to be here. We can't thank Mississippi State enough. Everything we've seen the last day or so since we've been here has just been first class, and really giving our guys a great experience. We're excited to be down here. It's been a fun year for our guys. It's my first year, and really couldn't be more fortunate to have the group of kids that we've got this year. When you take over in late June and you're trying to get everybody all pulling on the same rope and in the same direction, and you hire a coach from a little Division II school east, and they don't know who the heck I am. I can't express how fortunate I am to have this group, and what's gotten us here is just guys that love playing together and guys that pull for each other, and the value of our group that doesn't see the field, that you won't be talking about in the broadcast this week, is just as valuable as the guys that are sitting up here that have been everyday guys for us, and that's what makes this group special. Tied to that, I think our coaching staff is worth being noted. We've got just our assistant coaches are just tremendous, and the guy that I think is worth really pointing out is Tom Winsky, our volunteer assistant coach. I know across baseball, and at the MAC level, that third paid assistant is maybe not so much on the radar. But it was disappointing that a coach like Coach Winsky, who was my college coach, and we're thinking maybe we can get this guy paid, a couple of peanuts at some point. Disappointing we don't get that opportunity. But guys like that in a volunteer role, he's got 20 years experience. It's funny because I think he's probably the winningest head coach at the regional here, and we're not even allowed to give him a paycheck. So, but our 3 assistant coaches are incredibly valuable, and I think worth mentioning those guys. But I don't think anybody loves hearing me talk, so I'll turn it over to these 3 guys and see what they've got to say.
All right, we'll go ahead. Ryan's got the microphone again. We just remind you to address which student athlete you want to answer the question. We'll start here with Steve in the middle in the black hat.
Thank you. Jason, you guys go on the road, you played Michigan State, you put Notre Dame, you beat both of those teams. How does that kind of prepare you for an environment like this?
We always go into every game thinking, there's no game bigger than the game at task. And what we really focus on is not so much what other teams are doing, but we focus on ourselves, because if we do everything that we can do, then, we're going to be successful. All the having fun, having the energy, coming out wanting to win, that's what really helps us with teams like that.
We'll stay on the right in the middle row here, or the front row with Danny. I'm sorry.
Jason, I saw you've broken the record for games played at Central Michigan. Just talk about the experience you bring into this and this first regional experience. How do you think that's going to help you?
No, I'm very fortunate enough to have done that with coaches that have trusted me. But at the end of the day, it's not about my accomplishments. It's more so of the teams that I've been through, and I think everyone's bought in for this week, and we're going to try and win this. So everyone's pretty confident. So yeah.
We'll go back to Steve in the middle.
Griffin leading the team in home runs and a new program record, 74 RBIs. What's the secret?
There really is no secret. It's pretty easy when you got guys on base every time I'm up to plate. So, Xavier, Hickey, Gilly's got in front of me are really helping me out, obviously, getting on base. And I don't really have any pressure because I know guys like Sully and that behind me are always going to get it done. So it's been pretty easy, honestly.
Again, questions for the student athletes. We'll get the microphone to you. Anybody here? We'll go. Let's go back to the back in the cameras with Tom, and then we'll get it back to Steve.
Jason, Miami was in here a little bit earlier talking about, obviously at this stage of the game, there are no bad teams. Everyone is here for a reason, and it's about getting hot at the right time. There may not be a team in the tournament as hot as you guys in terms of winning 18 straight. How do you take what you've done over the past couple of weeks and bring it into an NCAA tournament environment?
We're just going to try and, as Coach says, repeat the process. We go into every game, and we always have a meeting before, and it's as soon as we get to the ballpark, it's our energy is going to be there. We're going to have more fun than the other team. We're going to do things the right way, small ball or not. So I think that's what's helped us with this winning streak. It's not so much as, we'll have flaws here and there, but it's whoever brings the most energy, and we've been the team to bring, a lot of energy, starting with Zach Cohn in the dugout, who, it's fun energy. It's not, we're treating this as a game, not more so as like a business, but at the same time, we're here to get things done.
Pat, what's it been like to win 18 games, and what have you learned about your team during this streak?
Just how much we're enjoying being around each other. This is probably my favorite year at CMU, and been here a while. I know guys joke about that a lot. They say I've been here since the last time we made a regional, which is 24 years ago. But no, it's been a lot of fun. Everyone really likes joking around with each other. No one takes each other too seriously. You're going to see that this weekend. I mean, guys are going to be smiling no matter what the score is or what situation we're in. We're going to be having fun just playing the game.
We'll go to Brett here on the right in the second row.
Pat, you and Cameron Brown are coming in off of really strong seasons as starters. How do y'all kind of feed off of each other to consistently keep this team in a chance to win every time y'all are on the mound?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty competitive people, Cam and I think Patty deserves some credit too, as he was hurt earlier in the year and has really worked his butt off to get back and help us win. But it's just doing the little things when no one's watching. Cam puts in probably more time than any of us, and I try to outwork him. And if it works out on the field, it works out on the field. But we all know that we have each other's back. Cam could be the Friday guy anywhere else too. I could. No one really looks at Friday, Saturday, Sunday any different. We're just trying to win the game at hand. So.
Go ahead to Ben here in the front right.
Pat, you mentioned the ability to stay loose and kind of have fun as a group. I mean, how much does that help when you're in kind of a pressure-packed situation, NCAA regional, big crowds, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise we've won a lot of games, so it's trusting that the game's going to work out in our favor, and if we're going to have fun and enjoy it, then more times than not, we're going to end up on the top side. So it's been a really fun road of just enjoying playing the game. So.
Any other questions for the student athletes? We'll go back to Tom in the Cameron Wells.
Griffin, you guys won 18 straight. You won your conference, but you enter here as a 3 seed. Is it maybe a feeling of any different? What do you have to do to maybe pull off some upsets here? Does it feel weird going against an 18 straight winner and a conference champion to here as a 3 seed, maybe flying under the radar?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, that's usually how it is with the MAC. You make it out, you're going to be a 3 or 4 no matter what. So, I mean, we're just worried about Miami tomorrow, trying to get a win. So we'll see what we can do the rest of the weekend.
All right, we'll go ahead and let the student athletes get out of here, and we'll go ahead and start taking questions for Coach.
I'm the ride anyway, so hang around. So.
Go ahead and start with Steve.
What kind of stands out about Miami? What are your impressions of them?
Obviously very talented. We know they're pretty young, but very talented. They can swing the bat, obviously. 75 home runs, pretty dangerous team. No Coach Damari, maybe in his first year as a head coach, but he's been around this for a long time and been a part of these things. I'm sure he'll have those kids prepared, even though they maybe haven't been a part of these things. Good pitching staff. I think one thing that jumps out is we don't play too many opponents that pound the strike zone as well as we do, and they certainly do. They're going to come after you. They're going to make you earn your runs, and that jumps out a little bit. A little bit of a whirlwind week. Getting here from Mount Pleasant, Michigan is not the easiest task you're going to come across. So we haven't had as much time to prepare for Miami. Probably do a little bit of that yet tonight and tomorrow, but obviously a really well-coached team. Swinging, they're pretty good all the way around. Obviously our hands are going to be full tomorrow.
Go ahead and get it here to the front with Ben to Coach's right.
Coming out of the MAC, and not to belittle it, but when you see the step up in competition in Miami, how do you sort of get guys prepped for that? Is there a way to sort of simulate that?
And certainly there's a ton of respect for Miami there, but we're not going to do anything differently. I mean, baseball's baseball. For me, it's been nothing but steps up this year. I was at the Division II level a year ago, and I think the one thing that's taught me is if you try to change who you are or what you're doing for your opponent, you're going to get yourself in a little bit of trouble. I mean, we've played Pitt, we've played Notre Dame, we've played Michigan State, and Miami obviously a little more accomplished than those clubs, but it's really going to be about what Miami does and what we do, and not so much about the opponent. Whoever does what they do a little bit better is going to be in good shape. We know they're going to be tough to beat. Anybody is at this stage in the game, but I don't think we change anything to prepare for that.
We'll go to the second row to Coach's right and to Brett.
Looking at how your bullpen is used, most teams have a small group of go-to guys that get the ball 22, 23 times. Y'all don't really have that. Y'all have a bunch of guys in that 14 to 17 appearance range. How would you describe how you've used your bullpen and how you utilize so many different guys on a relatively equal basis?
Yeah, we knew coming in we had some depth out there. We had some guys that maybe weren't real accomplished, but we knew we had some ability, and we don't have a lot of arms that are just going to overwhelm you, overpower you. Our strikeout numbers are not off the charts high. We pitch to contact, we defend a little bit, and there's some matchups involved. So depending on who we're playing, where we're playing them, all that kind of stuff, we've got a lot of guys out of that pen that can get some outs, and I think it makes us a little tougher to prepare for when you have 3, 4, 5, 6 options that you trust out there, and I think that's an advantage to us. We really use those midweek games at home to kind of whole staff and get a lot of guys involved, and I think that'll work to our advantage as we get deeper into this thing, but it's nice to have a lot of guys you trust out there.
Okay, we got time for a couple more for Coach. Get the microphone to you if you have them. All right, we'll go ahead.